Hey everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. And this time out, we have another unboxing of another dog control, surface control. This one is by Behringer, the XTouch. You guys have asked for it, so we're gonna unbox this, take a look at it, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what we're gonna be doing in some upcoming videos around this product. But before we get started, if you like what you see in the video, hit subscribe, notification bell, and all that stuff. Also, if this is your first time here, go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com because I want to give you a free mixing course. It's right on the homepage. You can't miss it. It's my gift to you just for visiting homerecordingmadeeasy.com. And if you stick around till the end of the video, I'm going to give you something else for free. So what are we doing with these two products? So if you've been following me for any length of time, especially over the last 18 months, in the middle of 2022, we started a journey on taking a look at all the different dog control products that were on the market and kind of comparing them. And I've been doing some video series on what I like and dislike about each one, talking about the build quality, how does it integrate with the dog, plug-in control, all of that stuff. We did the soft tube console 1. We did the Icon QCon Pro X. We did the PreSonus Fader Port 16. We did the SSL UF8 and the UC1 as well. And we also took a look from a dog control perspective, the PreSonus Studio Live. In those videos, in the comment section, several times I've been asked by people, what about the XTouch stuff? And although I've heard of it, I never really been a big fan of Behringer, to be quite honest. I've had some of their stuff in the distant past and it never really measured up. It was always not the best quality built stuff, but it's been a lot of years and enough of you have asked me about it. So once again, I reached out to my good friends at Sweetwater and said, hey, this is the last one we're gonna do. Would you be so kind to send me the XTouch and then an extender so we could take a look at this and compare them? And they said absolutely, like they've been very gracious throughout all of these dog control tests. Sweetwater's been great, so thank you to Sweetwater for sending me this product for review and to do our little series of videos. But as always, they don't see the videos, they don't tell me what to say, and you know I tell you whether I like this stuff or not. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this stuff. So today we're gonna unbox it, we're gonna take a look at just kind of the build quality. I'm gonna see how it kind of stacks up and kind of tell you what I think comparatively speaking to some of the other units that we unboxed in the past from the fit and finish point of view. And then we'll, you know, down the road there, do a few extra videos and showing you how it all functions and such. So we have two boxes here. We have the XTouch, which has the transport control system and all the stuff here you can see on the picture. And then we have an extender, which gives us an additional 8 faders. So we're gonna end up with 16 faders, which is pretty cool. So let's put this one down here for a second. Let's unbox the first one. Now the thing about the Behringer stuff, from a price point, they are one of the more affordable solutions on the market. They're in line with something like the PreSonus Fader ports. They're not as expensive as something like the solid state Logic UF8, but they're affordable. And so we're gonna see how this stuff is. So let's just take a look at what we got here. All right, we have a manual, we have a power cord, all things that you would expect. And then we have the unit here, power supply. Okay, and then we have the unit packed in some foam here, some hard styrofoam. So everything is packed nice and safely, good packing job. Oh, this is a little bit bigger than I was expecting. I don't know why. Not that it's huge, but it is a little bit larger than I thought it would be. Let's see, let's take a look. It's got some nice weight to it. Let's see, let's get this box out of the way. Take a look at this. All right, let's take a look at this thing. Okay, so this thing has a little more heft and a little bit more size to it than I was expecting, which is good. Like I said, I've always had this impression in some stuff that I purchased in the past many years ago, where Behringer stuff wasn't always the most high quality build. And maybe this is gonna change my mind. Let's see. All right, so it is fairly weighty. Here we go. Here's what it looks like if you wanna know. All right, it's made out of a combination of metal and plastic. But it feels pretty good. It feels pretty weighty. The faders are made out of a plastic. The faders feel kind of cheap. The plastic does, but all these dog controllers all have kind of cheap feeling faders, but they do feel kind of smooth, which is nice. I believe these are touch sensitive faders. Feels kind of good. We got some encoders at the top. Again, all made out of plastic that are push pods as well as rotary encoders. Feels pretty good. We got a bunch of buttons here, these soft key buttons, a bunch of function keys, kind of a rubbery kind of a feel with a nice satisfying click. So it does feel pretty good. A jog wheel here, again, made out of plastic. It's got steps in it, but it does feel a little sloppy. We'll see how it works when we get to the DAW, but it's not bad. We have a transport control here as well. Not too bad. What do we have on the connectivity side? We have an Ethernet port, which I'm sure we're going to need. We have some USB hubs that'll allow us to connect the extenders to this. This looks like you can only put 2. So I'm not sure if that means you're limited to 8 times 2 more, so it'd be 16, 24 faders, which should be sufficient. We have a couple of MIDI in and outs. We have a couple of foot controllers as well, probably for transport, and then we have a power button here. So we got some feet on the bottom, so it sits up at a pretty nice angle. I wish it sat up on a little bit of a higher angle, but we can always prop something underneath it. The only one that does that really well is the Solid State Logic UF8 with the adjustable feet to allow you to change the angle, which is kind of cool. But this is not bad. It's size-wise, physically, you can look at on Sweetwater's website. Links will be in the description box below if you want to check this out for the dimensions, but it looks like it's about the size of the Fader Port 16. It's about the size of the UFA depth and width. It doesn't take up an enormous amount of room, but we'll see when we get it over to the desk in the next couple of videos. So that is the main surface control here. Again, it's built pretty well. It feels, it's built a little bit better than I thought it was going to be totally honest with you. Is it as built as well as the UF8 by Solid State Logic? No. But that one again, I think is about, what, 3 times the cost of this unit or 2.5 times the cost. So you would expect that that one would be built better by SSL. But this by no means feels as cheap as I thought it was gonna feel. So that's a good sign. Okay, that's the main unit. Now we have the extender. Let's get this out here. And let's open this up and let's see what this looks like. I like these extender units. Again, it's much like the Icon QCon, where you can buy just the fader section that doesn't have the transport, and you can expand your system. That's one thing that the fader port doesn't have. That's one thing that the UF8 doesn't have, is that although you can daisy chain those together, but every unit has a transport, has a bunch of extra buttons, and if you put 2 of those together, you're kind of doubling up on a lot of the buttons and switches and stuff that you really don't need, and therefore it takes up more room. I like this concept of just having a fader bank extender, and then you have the main section. The Icon QCon, I think, is the only one that does that. So I kind of like that. So that's a nice feature. Okay, once again, same thing, book, power supplies, all of that stuff. Let's throw that over here. USB cable, again, packed the same way in some styrofoam here. Let's take a look at this bad boy and see what we got. So what I'm hoping is that this is going to surprise me, and this is going to be better than my impressions of this stuff initially is. And we'll see, and I'll let you know if it's any good or not. All right, so there is our extender. I like that. So that's nice and compact. Nice and compact. That looks great. Again, same connectivity on the back. Okay, so this on the back, we have an Ethernet port as well as 2 USB-A cables that says 2 devices. So maybe there isn't a limit to how many of these things you can put together. I don't know, I'll have to read the manual. But we're gonna have 16. So again, feels exactly the same as the main unit. Everything feels the same, everything's built the same quality. If you put these 2 bad boys together right next to each other, it's gonna look something like this. Now, the one thing I will say, unlike the Icon QCon Pro X, where the extender's actually physically attached to the main unit, so it looks like one nice centerpiece, where this does not do that. This is just 2 units sitting side by side, which again is not a big deal, but you can see the gap here, and from a fit and finish point of view, could be a little bit better, but again, it's not a showstopper. See, when you butt these two up together, you have a gap here in the front, which again is not a big deal, but that's what it would kind of look like. So again, from a physical point of view, we have 16 faders with a full-on master section here. This is a little bit larger than something like the FaderPort 16 by PreSonus. In this configuration, not as big as the Icon QCon, which is a lot deeper, at least the version of the Pro X that I looked at, or that we looked at on the channel. But again, built pretty well. Looks pretty good when you have it here. Once again, I think I would like to prop, and I probably will prop this up on a little bit more of an angle. Nice big faders. Every channel's got record, solo, mute, select, all kind of encoders for probably parameters and plug-in control and those kinds of things. So that's what we have here. So we got the Behringer XTouch extender and the XTouch. We're gonna get it hooked up to Studio One. We're gonna see how well it integrates. We're gonna see, does it perform any better than any of the other ones that we did, or is it about the same? If it's about the same, the build quality is not bad. Again, from a price point of view, it is at the lower end of the spectrum, which is good for you. You know, again, comparing this to something like the UF8, if this does 90% of that kind of functionality as the SSL UF8, it's 1/3 the price, hey, that's good for all of us, right? So we're gonna take a look at that. So if you join me for the next set of videos, we'll go through it. I'll show you how it works. I'll get a little comfortable with it. I'll tell you about the likes and dislikes. We'll see when we plug it into Studio One, actually recognize it right away. What is the dealio with the Behringer XTouch? So once again, thank you to Sweetwater for sending this. Thanks to all our subscribers who have asked me to do this kind of demo and review over the next couple of videos. I hope you enjoy it. I hope this surprises me, and I will be straight with you as always. So before we head on to the next video, like I said at the beginning, thanks so much for watching this entire video. Now, once again, go out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. We're talking about mixing and faders and dog control. You want to learn about mixing? I got a $100 mixing course just for you, absolutely free, right on the homepage. Click that orange button, get your free course today. And once you take that course, if you want to check out one of my other full paid training courses, I'd like to give you a discount, a 25% discount. If you use the coupon code YouTube25, that will take 25% off any training course on my website. Go check that out today. Again, like, share, and subscribe. And until the next videos where we take a look at this in action here, the Behringer XTouch dog controller, surface control. I've been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Thank you so very much for watching me today, everybody, and I'll speak to you guys soon.